Welcome back to the news at 10. The president has reassured Nigerians that his administration will adequately equip and motivate armed forces and other law enforcement agencies to successfully confront security challenges facing the country. This pledge is contained in his Easter message to Nigerians, in which he vows that he'll not allow merchants of evil and death to overwhelm the nation. President Buhari notes that the festival commemorating the resurrection of Jesus Christ is also a time to emulate the virtues of love, sacrifice, forgiveness, humility, courage, and endurance which Christ embodied. According to the president, quote, "Our nation is currently gripped with gloom over unfortunate killings, kidnappings, and violence as seen in recent tragic incidents in some states of the Federation. This should not be," end of quote. He affirms that under his watch, the nation will triumph over terrorists, bandits, and kidnappers alike. The president also wished Christians in Nigeria and around the world celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ a happy Easter. A coalition of civil societies has asked President Buhari to assent to the Police Reform Act and the Police Trust Fund Bill. Speaking at a news conference in Abuja, the program officer of CISLAC, Mr. Okeke Anya, says the passage of the bill will improve the services and operations of the Nigerian police.
We can take it off from there.
Just your name and organization.
There's been a persistent outcry over some behavior of some of our law enforcement operatives. The recent killings in Lagos and other parts of the country are very fresh in our memories, and we commiserate with families and friends of the victims of these incidents. We must say, however, that the killings are a stark reminder of where we are with efforts to reform policing in Nigeria. Amidst the huge security challenges confronting Nigeria, the Nigerian police force is persistently understaffed, underfunded, under-equipped, neglected, and poorly motivated to deal with threats to public order and safety. Such conditions are a recipe for the quality of policing and attendant abuses that we currently experience today. The initiative of the IGP to further restructure and organize SARS at all command level, taking into consideration SARS alarming statistics of human rights abuses, which sometimes results in fatalities, and the recent reintroduction of discretionary use of stun guns for crime scene operations are steps in the right direction. We urge the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to assent to the police bills with urgency that the subject matter demands. Passage and assent of the bills will reflect this administration's commitment to improving policing and public security in Nigeria.
3 Greeks and American are among 9 suspected pirates arrested in a joint operation between the Nigerian Navy and the U.S. Coast Guard, codenamed Junction Rain. The suspects were arrested after a search was conducted on their boat and weapons and other ammunition were found on board. The officer in tactical command of the operation says a large barge with a crew suspected to be oil thieves were also intercepted during the operation. Our correspondent Chris Lems reports.
This is not for exercise. It's an actual operation, codenamed Junction Rain, which means where necessary, guns will be drawn and shots fired. It's a joint operation between the U.S. Coast Guard and the Nigerian Navy to further fight crime on the Gulf of Guinea. In an operation such as this, one needs to be battle ready because you do not know what the enemy has in store for you. It's been 7 days combing the Western Naval Command area of the Gulf of Guinea with the Nigerian Navy and the U.S. Coast Guard looking for the bad guys who in 2018, according to a maritime watchdog, International Maritime Bureau, made this channel one of the deadliest in the world. Within the Nigerian waters, a vessel is sighted, which should have no business hanging around. Contact is established, and they deny having any contraband on board. Something is fishy about their presence, so a boat party comprising the Special Boat Squad of the Nigerian Navy and the U.S. Coast Guard is quickly dispatched. Sensing the firepower they are confronted with, the suspects quickly surrender. They knew the party was over. a search is conducted. Weapons and various communication devices are found on board the boat, painted in the color of the Nigerian Navy. As far as the officer in Tactical Command is concerned, the suspects have some explaining to do or face the music.
In the process, 2 were actually arrested. 1 carrying arms and other things. The other one, suspected to be one of those vessels that come to steal our products. So they are going to face the processes of getting prosecuted and final conviction.
The Operation Junction Rain is the operational phase of the United States African Command African Maritime Law Enforcement Partnership. From the Gulf of Guinea, Chris Illems, Channels Television News.
Let's take a look at some business news now. Here's Coyote Okikiolu.
You First. First Bank.
Thank you, Ijoma, and you're welcome to Business News. President Muhammadu Buhari has described the Republic of India as Nigeria's biggest trading partner, as the country enjoys a steadily growing and economically rewarding relationship with its Asian counterpart. In a statement by his senior special assistant on media and publicity, Garba Shehu, while receiving letters of credence from High Commissioner of India to Nigeria, Mr. Abey Thakur, at the State House in Abuja, President Buhari also called for a closer and stronger partnership that will be mutually beneficial to both countries. Recent data from the National Bureau of Statistics shows that India was Nigeria's biggest trading partner in the third quarter of last year, gulping 719.2 billion naira worth of crude and 37.7 billion naira in natural gas exports, as well as cashew nuts worth 4.7 billion naira. And now to company news. Shareholders of foremost financial institution Guarantee Trust Bank have approved the lender's 2018 financial statement, as well as other resolutions slated for deliberations. The investors gave their nod to the ordinary business at the 29th annual general meeting of the bank, while approving a total dividend of 2 naira 75 kobo.
The 2018 financial statements of Guarantee Trust Bank shows a strong earnings growth in bottom line, with a year-on-year uptake of 10% in profit after tax. The lender also improved its non-performing loans to 7.3% from 7.7% in 2017. With this scorecard presented at this 29th annual general meeting, shareholders clearly have a lot to celebrate.
2 naira 75 kobo per ordinary share of 50 kobo each. May I have a seconder?
I so support.
I declare that the motion has been duly carried.
With the dividends and other resolutions approved, the Chief Executive, Mr. Segun Agbaje, explains the concerns around the reversal of the bank's provisions to 9 mobile telecoms.
We have taken a conservative stance that it is too early to see whether the new management and the new ownership of 9 Mobile will be successful in that which they do, and whether they will be able to pay back the restructured loans. So until we arrive at a decision, we are comfortable and confident that the restructured loans will be paid back. We would rather leave them classified and not write back the profit today and have to give you an additional provision in the future.
While shareholders applaud the performance, the bank maintains its commitment to improvements in asset quality.
The profit for the year is 184 billion .6. It is best in Sub-Sahara. No bank ever achieved such kind of a thing.
So the goal is for the subsidiaries to continue to add more and more to group profitability while not slowing down the Nigeria operation.
Guarantee Trust Bank's commitment to strong growth across income lines has been evident in the latest Q1 2019 result, which is deemed impressive.
And as financial markets take a break for the Easter holiday, the domestic stock market ends the third trading week of April in positive territory, sustaining a 4-day recovery. Chimeze Obiwagu has the details.
Thank you, Coyote, and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Well, the market will certainly have a happy Easter as the oil share index clawed back into the 30,000 mark, up 0.39%. Well, apart from the oil and gas sector, all other sub-indices were in the green. We can see the banking sector gaining back yesterday's loss. Perhaps investors are beginning to digest those positive earnings from the bellwethers in the sector, the likes of GT Bank, Zenith, and Axis Bank. And from what we can see here, although the insurance sector gained more, the banking sector is the major contributor to today's positive performance because its capitalization is heavier than that of the insurance. The typical of a market ahead of a holiday. Not much was done in terms of transaction value and volume. Just a paltry 1.7 billion naira was realized after the sale of about 227 million shares. We can see some of the banking sector big boys occupying the top trade list as investors choose to go for their shares more. Well, it's a good way to end the week, I must say, but it's not yet too early for market players as more volatility is expected in the coming week. And that was the Stock Market Report. I'm Chimezie Obi Iwagu. Back to you, Coyote.
Thank you, Chimezie. Well, U.S. stock markets closed Thursday's trading session much higher after investors digested more corporate earnings reports, solid retail data, and two highly anticipated initial public offerings on Wall Street. Meanwhile, it's mixed sentiment for its major global counterparts. Take a look at the figures. Thank you for watching Business News Tonight. I am Kayode Okikelu. It's now back to you, Ejoma.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Coyote. Now let's get a bit more perspective on our lead story. That's a judgment of the Code of Conduct Tribunal. And joining us live now is the Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Professor Koinsola Ajayi. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10, Prof. Well, we know that...
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
There have been a number of reactions, Prof. What's yours? What's your reaction to the judgment today?
Well, my reaction is mixed. And the reason is because, in the first place, one could say it's a major step in moving forward with the fight against corruption. But on the other hand, is concerns that a good number of people have expressed about what the manner in which the trial has been conducted and the manner in which the executive has gone about dragging the office of the Chief Justice of Nigeria through the stench of this trial. There's a strong feeling that it has, in a big way, damaged the integrity, independence, and orderly administration of justice.
So in terms of those who say that perhaps this case is setting some sort of judicial precedence, I might say, some are saying it's one for the history books. Are you thinking along those lines or no?
Oh, without any doubt, I mean, this is big. Let's remember that this is the second time the Chief Justice of Nigeria will be removed from office. The first time was by Murtala Mohammed when he just came in the gale of his coup and removed Honorable Justice Elias as Chief Justice of the Federation. But you will recollect that not long after that, probably realizing that it was a grave mistake, his government supported his nomination as a member of the International Court of Justice, of which he became the Chief Judge. But in this case, this will be the first time that the Chief Justice of the Federation, while still in office, will be charged to court and, treated the way in which he was treated.
All right, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Professor Koinsola Ajayi. Wish we could talk more, but I'm afraid that's all we can take from you tonight on the News at 10. Thanks a lot for joining us. And still ahead on the News at 10, we'll take a trip to our London bureau for Around the World in 5 minutes. Please stay with us.